Bacon, food of the gods, the staple of breakfast. But where did this bacon come from? And why specifically is it called bacon? To learn that, we're going to have to go into the history of bacon and pigs. Let's start with Threshold 5, life. Pigs date back to 40 million years ago, and fossils indicate that wild porcine animals roamed forests and swamps in Europe and Asia. These pigs may have been known as boars, the ancestors to our common domesticated pigs we have today. Wild boars usually boasted large tusks and a strong body to fend off predators. On a side note, boars are commonly seen in all kinds of fantasy games. Moving on, Threshold 7 is our next stop with agriculture. It is estimated that around 4900 BC, boars were already being domesticated into pigs. But it wasn't until the Romans that pig breeding became big, and there were many different breeds created. One breed was large with floppy ears and produced copious amount of lard, while the other was a smaller frame with erect ears used primarily for meat. Pigs were one of the most common domesticated animals at the time, and eventually they made their way to America. Pigs spread all across the world until we reach today's present date, the modern era, Threshold 9. Now you may be thinking, Abby, what does all of this have to do with bacon? Why are you telling us all about pigs? Well, because without pigs there wouldn't be bacon, of course. But to be more specific, the bacon that we have today is fairly different from what they had in the past and what they used to call bacon. Around the 1100s through 1400s, bacon was a general term for salted pork. Around that time, bacon was just pork. It was a special kind of pork cut from pigs, mostly the ones that produced meat. And it was almost beef jerky. It wasn't until recently, in the 1700s, that an Englishman called John Harish came up with the idea of curing bacon and selling it in mass production. He created the Wiltshire cure method, which produced a low-salt, sweet bacon that is sought all over the world to this day. More recently, around the 1900s, bacon became a more commercialized meat and was started to be sold more often. But because of that, we get the sweet, savory goodness that is bacon. That is all. I was Abby Gottfried, and thank you for listening.